Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Long Story Short, a show where I take you on a journey unlike any other. In fact, some people say that my hosting is like me dancing. So in that case, call me a private dancer, a dancer for no money because we're on a budget. It's a very serious budget as well at that. But RIP to Tina Turner, who recently passed away. She's definitely an icon on the music scene. And for those of you all who have ever been to any club or any party or any back in times or anything like that, or you're going anywhere where it have a whole set of people gathering from the 80s, even into the 90s, Tina Turner was there and her music was a major feature. So much love going out to her, and may she rest in peace. But today, we're covering some serious stories and some serious news indeed. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple weeks, then you will know, you will be aware, and you will be conscious that the local government elections fiasco, or some people calling it the fiasco, is in the air. You see, in a Privy Council ruling quite recently, it was stated that the moving of the local government elections was ruled as being unlawful. And of course now there are demands coming from all over for the local government elections to be called. And luckily for us, the Prime Minister has said that it will happen within the next 3 months. So we await with bated breath as to what will happen. But why? Why was it delayed in the first place is the questions that we need to ask. And we also need to ensure that it comes on board very soon before the opposition loses all their local government councillors, because we know that quite a few have recently resigned. So let's get this done quickly, before we have no more councillors to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But local government is a thing that we need indeed, but need reform as well. And reformation has been one of the major topics for local government. And I hope we can get there very soon. And I hope we could also raise the consciousness of the people around the entirety of Trinidad and Tobago, because I was having a conversation with an individual quite recently about the local government elections. And you know, he told me, he was like, boy, I feel like if we don't need no local government again, you know, what we need is a foreign government. And I sighed, and I wondered, when will we get it right? When will we raise the consciousness and the awareness of the people that they know exactly what local government does and how they're separated from all other forms of government as well? To that guy who stated that he wanted a foreign government, I say, boy, well, we might have no foreign government, and I hope we never will, because then there'll be an invasion and, of course, a threat to our democracy and everything else in between. But to him, I said, we might have no foreign government, but what we have is a Privy Council. And why are we still reporting to the Privy Council? I have absolutely no clue, especially when the CCJ headquarters is right here in Trinidad and Tobago. CCJ being the Caribbean Court of Justice. Is it irony or just plain stupidity? I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that we can move towards some kind of reformation that puts the CCJ as the top ruling court, the final court in Trinidad and Tobago. I see that as being important and as a movement in the right direction away from the colonial foothold. But you know, our relationship with the colonial powers is like a relationship with a little bit of abuse that people like to stay in. Abusive relationship in some instances, and I think we really need help. Our own self, we need to do some deep dive and reflection, because we complain, and then we take the licks. But I myself could have told you that it was time to call the local government elections and not to extend it beyond anything. But why no? I'm not even a lawyer. Eh? But listening to the people and what they want is very important. And that is one thing within democracy that we should never lose sight of. And I am, for one, happy that at least we've come to some resolution and the local government elections will be coming up quite soon. And hopefully we could have some reform following that quite soon as well. You know, many people have a very interesting relationship with their local government sectors. Some say that they need their potholes paved, that they need their manhole covers covered, that they need all kind of things done across their entire area. and they look to the local government like a superhero, when sometimes we should be looking to WASA and asking them, why? Why there? Why that spot in particular for that pothole? Why dig up there? Why you couldn't dig lower down? You know, but I guess the local government is an easy scapegoat. Many say that we have a relationship with our government systems of love and hate. Many people love it, many people hate it. But as Tina Turner would say, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? I was a big Tina Turner fan, as you all can tell. 2 songs inside this show thus far, and I hope you're enjoying my singing. If not, then we'll be singing to a new tune of campaigns, and people driving up and down and popping their horn, and people meeting up in the road and dancing. You all remember what I was like? Take a look at this video right here.
There's only a t-shirt, you know, I get it free.
I love Trinidad and Tobago, you know. I love it, I love it, I love it. We are a fantastic people who love life plenty. So no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, and no matter what systems need reform, at least we never lose our sense of humor and our love of people. Very, very important. And in a world where there's so much chaos, that is indeed something to cherish. But on another note, as we're talking about colonial powers and different things of this sort, there's an interesting situation that's developing out of Buckingham Palace. So the Ethiopian family is requesting the remains of a prince to be returned to Ethiopia. And this request has been denied by Buckingham Palace. In fact, many people are saying that since the Ethiopian family has been in search of this remains and asking for it to be returned to their home country and for his remains to come back to the home country, that their requests have met a dead end. It is indeed a grave situation. Many difficulties around that, with Buckingham Palace even responding and saying, well, we don't want to disturb those who are resting there right now. Yes, of course, because the dead have to get up at 5 a.m. for work every morning. For those of you all who do that, I know that some of you all operate like the walking dead, indeed. Nevertheless, quite interesting fight for the remains there, and I hope that is resolved very, very soon. But you never know. You never know what could happen and what's happening around the globe. So, while I contemplate that, let's take a break right now.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
People really want to know, what about me? Where do I fit? Yes. What is in the ride for me in terms of a better Trinidad and Tobago? And I'm pleased to shed some light on that.
The purpose of bail is to ensure your attendance at court. That's it. It is not punitive, it is not rehabilitative.
We the police officers, we are professional and we are here for whenever the survivor is ready to come forward.
We have the right to private and family life, the right to religious freedoms and beliefs and thoughts and expression. But these rights are not absolute. Certain rights can be limited.
The law is to govern the whole, it's for all of us in public.
Join me, Sule A. Joseph, as I delve into the day-to-day psychological issues plaguing our society. We will discuss behaviors that encompass the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how you think, act, and feel. Sight, Thursdays at 11:30 a.m., only on WESN, Content Capital.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Long Story Short. Now, very often we encounter some stories that are just really, really far-fetched indeed. Some stories that some people might consider to be a bit of a waste. And this story might just piss you off. I'm talking about a recent story that was covered by BBC around the urination problem in France. Or as some people may say if you speak French, oui, 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 oui. Indeed, there's a serious urination problem, apparently public urination problem in France that is happening right now. And they're peeing all over. In fact, they're calling it the wild pee. That is the translation for this video here that's coming up. Take a look.
Paris. Its beautiful buildings, its vibrant culture, and its rampant public urination problem.
The City of Love has been battling this rather stinky nuisance since the 19th century, more precisely since 1834, when the Count of Rambuteau, prefect of the Seine, created the first modern urinals, les pissoirs.
Yet any visitor with a functioning sense of smell can tell that almost exactly 2 centuries later, the issue remains. The French even have a name for it, les pipis sauvages, or wild pee.
Sur le chemin, on voit constamment ça. Bon, on voit pas les gens, mais on sent l'odeur, etc.
C'est pas normal, mais je me suis tellement habituée à ces genres de personnes, même quand j'en croise dans la rue, qui se pissent dans la rue. Je me dis que, bon, il fait sa vie.
Of course, peeing in the wild is wildly illegal. And yes, fines aside, there's an obvious fix, public washrooms.
But in Paris, as in many other French cities, those don't always seem to do the trick. So why is this?
Yes, I know. You are now pissed off. And so many people are angered and very angry about this. In fact, they've turned it into a pissing contest. It's just piss, 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 piss all over. I'm telling you, it reminds me of Trinidad at carnival time. That is when we have a serious public urination problem. You ever walk through the streets and you're walking through pee? Woo! I'm telling you, even when you're about to queue, you're still walking through pee. That is the difficulty with public urination. It is very stressful. But yet still we have a lot of people who see it as part of their marking of territory, as part of their identity. In a sense, boy, I can break the law and piss here, and piss there, and piss everywhere. So it's not only here in the Caribbean that we see problems like this occurring, but even in the so-called developed nations. I don't really like that term too much, because what is developed nation? Yeah? But we see that they too suffer from issues of piss and pee and many other things that might just be considered a waste of time. But nobody is pissed, or more pissed, I should say, right now than soca superstar Neil Iwer George. For those of you all who don't know what I'm talking about, he recently put in a bid to buy some water taxis. And I found that just lined up perfectly with what he's about. You know that he's the water lord. So instead of throwing the water into the crowd, he want the crowd to sail across the water in a water taxi. Well, well, well. Beautiful indeed. But NIDCO has refused to accept his bid, or there's some complications around it at least. And the negotiations have broken down. He thought that the stage was set for this deal to go through, but clearly the stage not good again. It's not good again. And now he's planning to sue NIDCO and has sent a pre-action protocol letter. So we await the outcome of that. For many people there and for others who are watching on, we're seeing something like a wetting after wetting after wetting. Well, well, well. In sports news right about now, what we're seeing is an interesting thing happening. Manchester City has just won the Premier League, and now they're going after the Champions League as well. They're on the race to the top, with Erling Haaland unstoppable and on fire this season. And although I don't have much Manchester City fans in Trinidad and Tobago, and if you are a Manchester City fan in Trinidad and Tobago, it's because you just got into football. Because honestly and truly, most of the fans have been into football a long time, and they back all sorts of others. But many people were backing Arsenal indeed to take the league this year. But that Arsenal seemed to be empty as they placed second this time around. Nevertheless, all eyes on Champions League as we wait to see what's happening in the world of football next.
With society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered.
The conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN Content Capital.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers?
Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best.
I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the Content Capital.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing now, Andy.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is it no pressure on Nicholas Paul?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the red, white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number
of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
Once again, we're back to long story short. And somebody going to have to tell some real long stories to explain several things that have been happening with the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. But a recent one that has caught our attention was a police officer who lost his vehicle and had his tactical vest, a belt, and handcuffs in the back seat of his car. Clearly some action was going to go down there with somebody's girlfriend, but now the car is gone and they are on the search and investigations are underway. But as we are on the conversation of police and what is happening with police across Trinidad and Tobago, there was a recent situation that I have personally found to be intriguing. One that has captured my attention and the attention of many people across social media. Ladies and gentlemen, I must let you know at this moment, if you have a bucket, make sure and keep it safe. Make sure that it's strapped down even if it's empty. Because take a look at this next video here.
Yo, you want to give me a ticket for a bucket and all this in the back of my van, dog? This you want to give me a ticket for? This you want to give me a ticket for, bro? Bro, this is the utter stupidness, dog. This is stupidness. What you want to give me a ticket for? This you want to give me a ticket for? Bro, this is what you want to give me a ticket for, bro? A bucket in the back of my van? Bro, you serious? Bro, this is stupidness, bro. This is utter stupidness, bro. Don't call a supervisor, boy. Call somebody here. Call somebody. Call somebody. Call somebody, dog. A bucket in the back of my van. I's a registered farmer, boy. When you feel like a little boy, yo? Boy, hey, yo, see how disorderly I behaving, boy. I is a registered farmer in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I go in my garden, and you telling me you want to give me a ticket for a bucket in the back of my van? But you have to be playing, bro.
You know, Swappy said, this carnival we moving with we bucket. Nobody can touch we bucket. But I telling you, you can't move with your bucket. You can't move safely with your bucket no more. We have to be cautious. When we put we bucket, whether it's empty or it's full, in the back of your van or wherever, you have to be extremely cautious. Extremely cautious. Look at what happened to that man. And in fact, I went and I did some further investigation. I said he couldn't be the only one. And indeed, I was right. Because right now, we have somebody on the other end of the line, who has experienced a similar injustice. And he too was charged for having an empty bucket in the back of his van. We go live now. Sir, hello, good day. How are you doing?
Yeah, we live. This thing live.
Yeah.
Hello, alive?
Yes, we are live and you are alive.
Oh, right. The name is Jerry Balguandeo from Barkport. Alright, I was driving my vehicle 2 days ago, alright, and I pull aside. I got stopped by the cops, right? I say, oh gosh, another ticket. The man come to my the window, he knock. He say, pull down, he say, license or registration, please. I say, officer, what is it? Where's he charge? The man proceeded to go around the van in the back there, you see my van, right? And he pull out my bucket, yes. This bucket right here, ladies and gentlemen, and he bring it forward to me, and he said, I'm charging you for having in possession of an illegal bucket. $1,000. You know, if Gary and Erla was there, this would not happen. Before they studying about the crime, they studying about this illegal bucket. Since when it is illegal to drive and have a bucket in the possession of your possessions? Eh?
So you were charged for having a bucket indeed. I find this is an injustice. What were you going to do with that bucket?
Well, I was going by the standpipe up in my garden to collect some water to bathe because Wassa cut off the water and we for 3 days because we don't have water in these countrysides. It's like the Sahara Desert up here. Oh, goosh.
So you're telling me that you didn't bathe in 3 days?
In 3 days, partner, that is correct.
So then clearly people are smelling you before they see you.
Yes, wrong the corners.
Now, what were you going to do? I don't think that you're just going to your garden to take a bath. I assume that you had some other work that you're going to carry out in your garden.
Yes. You see, I was a goat farmer. I had 3 goats. Yeah, 3 goats and 1 cow. You know the name?
No, I don't.
Right, Messi, LeBron, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And the cow named Haaland.
Haaland, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so aren't you afraid that your goats and your cows might have been stolen? I heard that that's quite a common thing right now. A lot of people are losing livestock. There are criminals out there who are kidnapping even chickens and roosters and cows and all kind of things, all kind of different livestock. Weren't you afraid?
Well, partner, let me tell you something about that goat thief there. The other day in the village, we have a nice village up here. My partner Raj have a nice party. So I go on by Raj, he invite me, say, come over. I say, all right, I come in, Raj. I reach in there. I say, boy, Raj, something smelling real nice. Where's the other? He say, I have a goat in the pot. I say, right. So he take out a plate for me. He take out some rice, some dal, some bhaji, and he proceeded to put on the curry goat. So I really eating with my finger. If you see me, I say, Raj, where you get a goat, boy? It tasting good. He say, boy, that your goat. You see, goat teeth right in front of my eye from my own partner.
Well, at least you got some of the goat. That's good that he was sharing with you. Sharing is caring indeed, especially around the Indian arrival time. You know, that is an important thing to do. But my last question is: will you pay this ticket? What's going to happen? What's the outcome of this situation? How did you feel? What are your final thoughts on being charged for this bucket?
This is an injustice amongst the people, and I will be taking this to court, and I'm going to court with my bucket. And I will be speaking on behalf of this bucket to the magistrate, because we're not going on so. We're not going on so, Mr. Host.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us here on Long Story Short to share your thoughts and your feelings. You seem very hurt over this bucket situation. And I really hope that we can fill you up with some joy instead of all this problems that you're experiencing from this bucket. I know how tough it could be out there when you have empty buckets in your cars and in your vehicles. You have to be extra cautious now. So make sure and take the time to put something inside your bucket the next time you're going to transport it. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of Long Story Short. And remember to go out there, to have a good time, to have a good lime. Ensure that you're going to stain your finger for the local government elections, and ensure that whenever you have a bucket with you, you strap it down properly. Long Story Short, I've been your host, Theatrics, and it's been a joy being here with you all. We're out for this week.